What is happening, guys? It is a day of editing for me. I'm catching up on some editing for the next video. Coming out on Sunday as usual. I like releasing everything at the end of the week. Sunday evenings that means end of the week for me. I went and saw Tron yesterday, last evening. My nephew, my sister, and my brother-in-law, we all went. We're all really huge fans of, I would just say, like, sci-fi fictional storytelling in general. I'm not really going to talk too much about Tron because I'm going to save it for another time. I have a lot to to talk about when it comes to Tron. I recommend it. I personally recommend it. I know there's a lot of people who are just lambasting the movie. Go see it. Go see it. Don't be a gatekeeper. Let people experience it. Like if you think that it wasn't a great movie, fine. That's okay. But don't tell other people to not see it. Just go see it. Go see it. Yeah. Anyways, so while seeing just obviously in theater before showing the movie, they show trailers. And first of all, like every trailer was banging, it was on point. And even for movies that usually I wouldn't be, super hyped about, there's going to be I guess the Bruce Springsteen movie coming out, starring, God, I don't remember the guy's name. He's from The Bear, the lead actor. Amazing. And that's not typically the type of movie that I would be super into, but he's a dynamic actor. And I'm not even a fan of Bruce Springsteen. I mean, some of the songs are good, great, maybe. For some people, great. For me, good. But yeah, that's coming out, and Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands had a trailer come out for the movie, and it was so good. Even though, I'm going to be honest, I have some, I don't know if they're polarizing thoughts, but I do have thoughts about Predator and kind of where things are going, I guess, right now. What's this saying? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by... I'm reading what's coming up on the screen. If you've come to my channel before, I've literally done one live stream before, and it was, I don't know, over a year ago. It was like almost 2 hours long. I decided to just play Marvel... Do I have it around here? Gosh, it was on my Xbox 360. Because I love old school Marvel games. Anyways, I got lost in that game, and I only meant for that to be like a half hour just testing out the waters and stuff. Hi, Julius. How's it going? Yeah, but so I'm not an avid live streamer, but I really want to kind of like get back into the flow of things, especially while I'm editing, because I'm sitting at my desk for literally hours in my basement. So hey, throwing this out there, if you want to like jump in the chat and just talk and just have a place to like kind of decompress and like let's nerd out, because yes, Predator Badlands, I was skeptical when I first heard about it coming out, and now the more that I've seen trailers, and that came out on Hulu, that Predator animated series slaps. Like I once again, I was pretty skeptical. I didn't know if I really wanted to see Predators in an animated form, and more so because, I have gray hairs here, guys. I have a lot of gray hairs here. I grew up with the OG Predator. So when I was introduced to Predator, it was scary. It was absolutely scary. Not even just how they made it look, but how they didn't make it look. The idea of giving them the cloaking ability. And also on top of that, man, if you've seen the OG Predator movie, they literally got every 80s, okay, almost every 80s kind of badass, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, arguably biggest celebrity at the time, both as a celebrity and literally, like physically, the biggest actor at the time. So as a movie, they showed us every huge actor getting decimated by this thing that they could forget fight. Most of them couldn't even see. So they really leaned into the sci-fi horror. Like, I would say that the original Predator movie, it may have been like kind of like sort of in the same feels as the Alien movies, like the original 1979, I want to say. That I feel was more space horror. It was very dark. I think Predator kind of fell into almost like a new sort of genre of action horror. Action horror, no, I guess that did sort of exist, but just not on such a mainstream level, right? Anyways, the Predator was meant to be scary, right? And arguably one of the reasons why something may be scary is the feeling of unknown, right? Something that we either can't see, we can't understand, can't talk to. All of these things they introduced in the original Predator movies, that literally the Predator could have been a robot, like, and not in a detrimental way. I just mean that, like, it was a Terminator. You cannot reason with this thing. It was out to hunt, right? Like, and it wasn't even about eating. They just gave this thing this, like, so it was intelligent. It could track you. How's it going, Wild Edits? The Predator had, like, it was a force to be reckoned with. And the fact that, like, it was just like running and gunning anybody, well, almost anybody down, anyone that I thought that was like a worthy prey, you know? And even the concept of like how we as trophy hunters, they even like took that to another level when, remember what, every time it like captured someone that was like almost, I guess, a threat, like it would like rip off their head and like it would clean off the skull and stuff. Like it was scary. It was meant to be scary. It was, I think, in all fairness, I think the original Predator movies were even some kind of like meta commentary on humans, on like there's no necessity, well, to a certain degree, going out and hunting, but even more so for a trophy level. Shout on Emma. Hey Emma, how's it going? Jay Shri Ram, how's it going, guys? Yeah, can I shout out Dal? Hey Dal. I mean, I actually just had some dal this morning, like dal and rice. Like that's hell yeah, breakfast of champions, yo. Anyways, so I think that, like, even though aside from the meta commentary on the original Predator movies, they put in a hard effort into making the Predator genuinely a scary thing, you know, especially with the changes. Like, now if you are a huge Predator fan, then I really recommend kind of looking back into some of the footage that never made it. Like, I even believe that Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally cast to be the Predator in the suit. I think so. I'm not gonna fact check anything I have right here. So absolutely, please feel free to fact check me on anything, because we're just spitting, guys. We're just going. But anyways, but I do know that the original Predator was meant to look incredibly different. They show costumes in a lot of the outtake footage, and it looked absolutely different. So and I don't really think that the original Predator, I mean, the intent may have been there to be scary, but maybe because it didn't get the Hollywood polish, I don't think it was a scary original design. I think the redesign where they ended up going with kind of like what we're used to right now, absolutely, right? Like the mandibles, the tendrils coming off the head, like even like the mask and just revealing this, you know, this thing. I definitely think the original Predator series was meant to be a horror series, and I think, once again, in making something scary, part of what makes something scary is what you don't know, right? Like the mystery. That's why the dark is scary, you know, just the things that we don't see, the things that we don't know. And so the less that we knew about the Predator, the more scary it kind of was. This thing that we couldn't reason with. All we knew is that it always wanted to hunt. It wanted to hunt, and it had some type of way of discerning as to what was worthy prey, right? It almost kind of feels like Predator was almost even like maybe a twist on like Klingons, or maybe the other way around. They even kind of sort of look similar. I don't know. Like I've always kind of thought that. I've always thought that like Predator and Klingons from Star Trek, they have weird similarities, a lot of like cultural weird similarities. Anyways, as much as I'm super stoked about what they've been doing with Predator, I've been very hesitant about embracing it. I am now embracing it, but the one thing that I don't know where I'm at yet with is that as amazing as everything is looking with, I mean, Prey, damn man, that movie, so good, so good. I mean, I think that even just had like only streaming rights or something. I don't even know if that happened during like the times that we were all stuck inside. I'm not sure, but I think that movie absolutely deserved it should have had a cinematic, like a theatrical release. I 100% believe that Prey was all-encompassing, probably the best Predator installment since the OG ones, like in the 80s. I might even say, and this may be a super hot take, I may like Prey better than the OG Predator movies. Okay, I put it out there, and I'm not taking it back. I do think it's like a phenomenal movie. I think the storytelling was so great. And I don't know, like just on so many levels, I think it was just cinematically a visual spectacle, and storytelling, like the stakes were high, for all the characters. It made sense, and it was still, to a certain degree, the Predator was scary. They've been showing more and more of the Predator, and I think this is also something that Aliens may be falling into as well, where it's starting to lose a little bit of its horror aspect, and not for any huge story arc reasons as much as they're showing us so much. And as a fan, I love it, but as a fan, like the more you see, like, oh gosh, like, okay, we are diverting to Alien Earth for a quick second, because they show so much of the xenomorph, like so much, and it's cool. I like it. I think that using the suit and how they executed it was great, but I didn't find the xenomorph that scary, and it wasn't because, like, a lot of people are saying that it wasn't scary because, in contrast to the other aliens that, the other kind of aliens that they were introducing us to, but I didn't really find those ones that scary either. And it's not about scary, like the concept of them absolutely was terrifying, but visually, like, it's not something that would give me nightmares, you know what I mean? Whereas like the OG Xenomorph Alien movie, that was a scary movie. Now, once again, the more that they're showing us of the Xenomorphs, the more that we're like knowing of them, of a species, you demystify things, and in demystifying something, it can make something less scary, because now you are knowledgeable about it. And not even just that, you can start to sympathize or empathize with that thing, because now you're aware of its motives, its life cycle, its the hurdles that it may experience within its life cycle, things like that, And coming back to Predator, that's why I kind of don't think Predators are scary in the same way anymore, because slowly we've, aside from the comics, I'm not going to really talk about the comic series just yet, like I'm a super huge fan of the comics, but I would say to a larger degree, most Predator fans are cinematic fans. Like they stayed in the world of cinema and didn't really go off into reading all the comics, and that's 100% cool. That's totally fine. I think as much as the comics are canon, I think more so the movies, the TV shows, they tend to lean in more into the canon that's been cinematic, even though they will drop like breadcrumbs of stuff from outside, which is great. So it gives like good fan service. But I think that the more that the Predator series franchise has been growing cinematically, the more it's evolved into from a action horror movie to now like sci-fi horror, or I guess it was like sci-fi action horror maybe before, and now like the horror has fallen off. And even to a point of like, I don't know if, once again, I don't know if 100% if this is true, so absolutely fact check me on this so no one just takes this to the bank. I'm pretty sure that the Predator Badlands is getting a PG-13 rating, and I think it may be the first Predator movie. I'm asking. I think it might be the first Predator movie to not get a rated R. And I think that alone is like, you know what I mean? Like the writing's on the wall. This is not a horror movie. I don't even know if a horror movie can be rated anything under R. Because I think maybe the whole concept of it being horrific, disturbing, they would usually put more of a strict age restriction on that, like an age restriction on that. So visibly, even from a ratings perspective, it's obviously, gone down a notch. Like it's not rated R, it's PG-13. PG-13 also tends to be a very common rating for heavy action movies. And I don't want to say exactly why I think that in a bigger way, because let's do it. Okay. So when a movie goes from rated R to PG-13, because now that widens out the demographic of who can actually go see the movie, that also widens out the marketing aspect of the movie as well. So now that there is an opportunity to take advantage of the franchise, I don't mean that in a bad way, just take advantage of the franchise in a way that they can market it now for toys, video games, and things that would just appeal to a bigger, wider audience. Whereas rated R material will still have swag, merch, but it tends to be far more niche and far less. It's something that you would have to order, like the detail tends to be amazing. I'm talking about like collectibles and things like that, because they also are leaning to the fact that usually the people who are fans of this are going to be older. So it's not going to be like, like a Toy Biz toy, it's going to be something like, was it McFarlane? I remember like McFarlane had his own, I think he still has his own like toy series, but the detail on those figurines are ridiculous. But once again, I think it's marketed to an older audience. So I think, I don't know. Like, I think in going from the Predator, taking it from a rated R to a PG-13, opening it up to a larger audience base. Now also, it may also, because it ties into Weyland-Yutani, which of course, aliens. So like 100%, we are now cinematically, like they have now 100%, like there's no going back, that the universes are together. They have done it to soft canon, like, the Predator Alien movies, but I think to a larger degree, those movies have not really made it to be part of canon. I mean, I don't know, like where they're taking things right now, there might be, soft references to it. But from what my understanding, at least up until this point, the Alien Predator movies aren't 100% accepted as canon. So yeah, so like by putting Alien Predator together in Predator Badlands, that is now also very definitively now taking Aliens and putting a PG-13 rating on the Aliens franchise. It may not be an Aliens movie, but is 100% in that universe. So once again, this may be the first time that the Alien movies are now falling into a PG-13 rating. So what Fox used to, yeah, Fox was the who used to own Predator and the Alien franchises, and now that Disney owns them, that might be part of a bigger idea, not just cinematically, but like we all know, Disney, they are masters of marketing, and not just from a cinematic perspective, but also by taking IPs and like what is the maximum amount that we can make money off this thing, and I mean that in a nice way, but also a little bit like not very nice, because yeah, they will milk the heck out of any IP that they own. I hope they're learning their lesson. I think that they're starting to see what they've been doing with Marvel is kind of like, I like some of the stuff. Not all. Anyhow, that's for another time. I took notes for this. I'm so excited to talk about like Predator Badlands that I was like, you know what? Like, I know I have a lot of editing to do, so I'm gonna throw up my cell phone here, and I need to talk about this. I need to like get some details out, even to the point of where like I'm going back and like talking to my sister, brother-in-law, and my nephew this weekend, just so we can like fully nerd out on Alien Earth. So I think after that talk, another live stream has to happen and talk a little bit about Alien Earth, because that may be my favorite series in a while. And I know apparently that's a hot take. If you're an Aliens fan and you don't like Alien Earth, like I'm really interested to know, why didn't it work for you? Because I think that the world building was great. I mean, like, let's take away, like people are like, will criticize people's acting and stuff like that, or whatever. Like I almost loved every single thing about it. So that's where I'm at with that. So I definitely want to expand on that. However, I want to talk about some of the notes that I took, because I'm so excited to talk about Predator Badlands, even though it hasn't come out yet, because I'm just so excited about Predator. So the main thing, and I touched on this earlier when the stream just started up, was taking away the horror aspect. So do we lose horror when we start to empathize? I think so. Like, that is kind of like my main question about this. Like, now that we now know so much about the predator species and the culture, and now to the point of where I'm pretty damn sure we can say at this point, for Predator Badlands, the protagonist of the movie is the predator. So the hero of the tale they are going to tell is the predator. So right away, we're not supposed to be afraid of the predator, because we're supposed to root for this guy now, right? So right away, they are absolutely introducing a totally different concept to this. If you interact with chat more, people will watch. Oh, I imagine so. Thank you very much for saying that, Helia and Lucky. I'm not really used to doing lives. What can I say? I'm an editor. I like to just like edit videos, and live engagement. This is where it's at. I'm sorry, because I'm looking to really rattle off topics. So like, I'm sorry if no one's will like, it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, it can be. I think I'm used to doing a lot of stage work personally, so I'm used to like being in front of people. So for me, engagement, I know there's people here, but you know what I mean? Like when you're doing live performance, there's like someone right there, or a group of people right there that I can engage with. It's visibly there. So even if I'm performing, whether it be singing or acting or whatever, there is that very visible acknowledgement of like, there's human beings here, So thank you for reminding me. So I will make sure that when I throw out my points here, I'm going to throw out questions at least, you guys. So whether there's someone here to answer right away, or afterwards, if someone wants to throw comments in and let me know, because anything about Predator and Aliens, I'm all over that. So I kind of want to say here that like, now from the original Predator movie, 1987 was the original Predator film. Like I said, I took notes, y'all. I'm prepared for this. So, and I think one of the aspects that made the original Predator movie as well scary was, once again, they took some like the biggest, beefiest actors in the industry, and they were I think they were part of like a military or a special ops group, you know. So even in the film, they were the best of the best. Like, these were the people that everyone would fear, basically, right? These are the strongest people, and made them the prey. So right away, like, very, very scary, because no one watching any of those movies could size up to any one of the actors, right? Like, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Like, I mean, so making him the prey right away is like, damn, like this is serious. And one of the other things that made it really, really scary was the Yautja. So that's, for anyone who doesn't know, Yautja is the name of the predator species. Okay, so they are called the Yautja. We are the humans, they're the Yautja. They never spoke, really. At least we would hear them make sounds, but they never really, you know what I mean? Like, they never, like, none of the predators said something and then there were subtitles. We never knew. So, like, there wasn't really, we knew there was language, and the only way that we knew there was language, at least I would say, like, solidified language, was two ideas, or two concepts. First, they had a ship, they had, like, you know, like, there was armor, stuff like that. Like, it was a civilized, to a certain degree, a civilized society, you know. They had technology. There's no way that any species could have these type of advantages with zero abilities to communicate, right? So we at least knew that. So from a meta level, we understood that there was going to be communication. And the only other thing that signified to, like, hardened language or culture, I would say, was that, like, when they show the Yautja with the, like, it had like that thing on its arm that was like a huge bomb or something, you know what I mean? Like, it would just wipe out the area, and it had dialogue on it, right? And remember, so at the end of the original Predator movie, he did that laugh. Remember, that was another thing that made him scary. So, like, the predators would actually record audio of who they were hunting and then play it back. Like, there was a psychological aspect. Like, it was kind of like maniacal in a weird way. Slice a Swiss cheese. That's a dope name. That's great. I love it. Hey, how's it going? So, like, I mean, they obviously leaned really hard into that scary aspect, right? The only thing that we ever heard the predator say was when they reflected our own language back at us in this weird, cryptic, creepy way, right? But so I think at the end of the movie, it was mimicking a laugh. One of the characters laughs. I think it was Billy. He was like doing the laugh and then setting off his bomb. And even though we couldn't tell what the dialogue was, we understood that it was a timer, because there was this like beep, beep, there's a countdown, and, you know, like the characters were changing. So at least we had a sort of a soft introduction to, oh, that's what their written language looks like. So I think that was the closest that we ever really got to kind of really understanding any level of culture from the predators. And I think that limit in education that we had made them scary. The less we knew, the more scary they were, you know, in a nutshell. So, and now we're shifting to knowing more and more. And I would say that Prey, Prey was such a good movie. Prey was such a good movie. Let me know, you guys, like, let me know what your favorite Predator movie is. Because I don't know if I'm in the minority here, that, like, I do really love the OG movies, but as I said earlier, I kind of think I like Prey even more than the original movies. It might be just from a cinematic level, but I do think they still maintained a certain level of scariness. Even though Prey, the movie Prey, has kind of fallen into kind of the same trap that Alien Earth fell into, where if you show us more of that thing, then kind of the less scary it is. right? Like in the original Alien movie, they showed so little. It was more showing people's reactions and then kind of a close-up jump scare, and so effectively done. Predator was never really used in the same way. I think it was more about, because like aliens we couldn't see because usually everything was dark, right? And they kind of almost looked like they were part of the ship, so they blended in. Whereas Predator took a really interesting concept and basically had a horror movie that took place in the daytime, right? Like the most visible time. So once again, that should not be scary. But then this thing was invisible, you know, like giving this cloaking technology gave you this really false sense of security, because you never see like a horror movie that takes place in the daytime and is still as effectively scary as something that takes place in the dark. So that was a really interesting choice that they went with. There was a nighttime battle, don't get me wrong, but that wasn't really the main, that wasn't the scary, you know what I mean? That didn't bring the scary, because if that's gonna bring the scary, usually they'd want most of the movie to take place, you know, like at night then, right? To lean into the mystery aspect. So with showing us more of the predator species, I think they slowly have been kind of chipping away at the horror aspect and definitely giving us more of what we like, but then at the same time taking away from, maybe that's the trade-off. Maybe that is the trade-off. The more we know, the less scary it is, right? Okay, so I took a note here too. This is also kind of interesting, where characters like Vader, Thanos, the Joker, they conceptually are scary characters. Conceptually. I mean, I guess you can argue that they are scary. I don't know if I would ever have like nightmares of any of those characters. Like, I don't find them scary, but the concepts that they embody are kind of scary. I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Like, are those even scary characters? Do you guys think of them as scary? You know, like Thanos, this all-powerful being, I'm gonna snap out half of the life in the universe. Conceptually, totally scary. But the concept is so big that it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's scary, but it's kind of like, it's too huge. Like, you wipe out half the life in the universe, 50-50, you might be part of it. Okay, you know, and it's also quick. It's not like you're being hunted down or anything like that. Vader, once again, conceptually a scary character. Who he is, what he's done, and they've even cinematically shown him in scenes that if you were there, it's scary, you know, like just having this silent being cloaked in black, red lightsaber, no other light, and he's just coming for you. Yeah, conceptually, absolutely terrifying. Is it scary cinematically? Like, watching it, do you feel scared? No? I'm going to speak for myself. No. I would say no. Joker, once again, conceptually, incredibly scary. This person that just basically embodies chaos. What humans' full capacity for crazy and chaos is like. I mean, look at this here. I'll show you even this. I'm staring at this right across from, like, I have a shelf with all like comics and stuff like across from me what I work on. Even this cover, you know, like of the new Joker, like the fact that he ripped off his skin and puts it on as a mask. Like, you're going to such high levels of insanity. And yeah, absolutely, that is terrifying. That is scary, but nightmare scary? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Like, for me, not so much. I wouldn't consider that like nightmare-inducing scary. Conceptually, yes. And I think that's what's happening now to both Predator and Alien. They were introduced to us as terrifying things to just see, right? And they've now turned into conceptually scary things. It takes thought. It takes thought to be scared by them, because we've just seen too much at this point to just look at it and be like, oh, that's scary. Yeah, okay, if it's coming at you, there's a jump scare aspect. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can see the alien, like Alien Earth, they show broad daylight in the forest, jumping around. It's like, okay. And maybe and maybe because of his interactions with the lead character from Alien Earth is called Wendy. The xenomorph's interactions with Wendy may have also kind of, you know, de-horrored, that's probably not a word, taken away a bit of the horror aspect of the creature, because it's almost seeming like a pet. I know it's not. I have some ideas of where they're going with it, but you know what I mean? They took away the scary. So, okay, I covered compared to Alien Earth. We talked about that. Yeah, okay. Another even topic with that, like the fact that like with Alien Earth, just to kind of like just pull on that thread a little bit more, the fact that they're deepening the story and the mythos, that seems to kind of once again diffuse the horror. And maybe it's because the xenomorphs are now no longer really the main thing, whereas like the Alien franchise was about the alien. Now we're kind of in this area where we're focusing on the cyborgs, androids, and hybrids. You know, like there's definitely some like meta commentary there as well, I imagine, you know. But like it just seems like they're kind of diverting away from that. And also I guess now that the Alien universe is tied to Blade Runner, I think. Someone let me know about that. I don't know. I'm not fact checking anything I'm saying. Please. I think Blade Runner is officially part of the Alien universe as well. So by connecting Predator to Alien, we are innately also saying that the franchises of Predator, Alien, and Blade Runner are all in the same universe, are sharing the universe. So the only thing I can see that really affecting is, I mean, yes, obviously that affects both other franchises, as in like Blade Runner would affect Predator and the Alien franchise. But Blade Runner's main talking point or sci-fi aspect that they're kind of like honing in on is artificial intelligence to a higher degree, whether it be like holographics, like holographic characters, or like, you know, what they call them, not synths. They had a term for them. I forget what the term was that was used for, you know, for the artificial beings in Blade Runner. But now that is the Blade Runner universe, like that is what the main controversy, everything tends to be kind of hovering around artificial beings. And so now seeing that the Alien franchise has always had that as an aspect, but now through especially Alien Earth, it has been very, very solidified as not just a tangent or an aspect of the universe, but something that actively they want to explore. Has, you know, like there has to be some type of connection there. Like there has to be like the evolution of technology and AI within the Blade Runner universe. For it to be successful, there has to be some type of tie-in there. And now that the Predator series, because we haven't really had a Predator movie. I'm trying to think, I can't really think off the top of my head if there's been a Predator movie with any influence of cyborgs or androids or anything like that. So yeah, let me know. I'm pretty sure of that, but let me know as well about that, please. But I'm pretty sure canonically, cinematically, not talking about comics again, not talking about any of the other media, specifically within the cinematic universe, I don't believe androids or synthetic beings have ever played a very big role in the Predator series. So now in Badlands, I don't know the actress's name, who's playing the synth, Tess, I think is the character name. Yeah, obviously they're like a dynamic duo, so they're leaning hard into that. So they're very much at the same time in the same year doubling down on introducing us to artificial beings in the Alien franchise from Alien Earth and now in the Predator series. I mean, it may just be because of currently how entrenched we are with AI. So it just might be more meta commentary, or you know, like a hot button topic that's like, hey, if we lean into this, there just may be a bit more, you know, fan grab. Possibly. I mean, I still think it's a great angle. It expands the universe regardless. They expand the universe, and I love that. Let's see here. What's my next notes? Cultural mirrors. Okay. I wanted to like quickly talk a little bit about cultural mirrors. Okay. Because if anyone's watching any of the videos on my channel here, like obviously I tend to lean a bit more into not just the media, not just the comics or the movie stories, but you know, like how deep or how meta you want to go about it. Because these, even though they're fictitious stories, they're written by real people, and like at some level, the intent or the story, the motivations of the characters on some level are connected to real people, real stories, you know, real motivations. And any form of art, whether it's visual art like a comic book, a painting, or a movie, a song, the time that it is created in, like the era that it's created in, you cannot avoid the fact that whatever you're creating on some level is affected societally. You know what I mean? So whatever you're creating has some level of meta content, meta commentary on what you're going through right now and what the world is. So like I tend to see the world through that lens. I love comics, I love video games, I love movies and TV shows. And when I watch any one of these things, I tend to think about those things. I wouldn't say like I think deeper about things. I think there's far bigger minds than mine that are deconstructing these things on a far, you know, more astute level than I am. I just think I just relate to them. So right away I see these stories, and even though I'm seeing the story in this fictitious way as it's presented, but right away I kind of think about like, you know, how's this connected to me? Like when you put yourselves in characters' shoes, when you empathize with characters. And so like I start thinking about that, like, oh, that's an interesting choice. I wonder why they decided to make the character do this. You know, is that a reflection of what the writer was going through, or, you know, just that kind of stuff. So that's how I look at the world. I interpret the world around me through comics and stories, you know. So going back to cultural mirror, because I know we're running on 42 minutes, 42 minutes, the stream's been going on. And I want to get back to my editing because I don't want to fall behind on that. Okay, cultural mirrors. Motivations we talked about. Chaos, yes, okay. The creatures, whether it be aliens or predators, part of the scary aspect was the introduction of chaos. Chaos, something you're not prepared for, something that's unknown. So we're now once again going back into the area of the more that we know, the more that we're prepared and planned out for it, so it becomes less of a threat, less scary. So less chaos, more scary. Humanizing the monsters. And yeah, like cheering on the Predator, I put AVP for this. Alien versus Predator, sure. Yeah, like I think we were, okay, yeah, I can see that. The Alien Predator, we were cheering on the Predator, sort of. I mean, AVP was more about the Alien Predator hybrid rather than the Predators at that point. So I don't know. I honestly don't know why I wrote that note. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. So I'm not sure where I'm going with that one. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know, like, what do you think I was thinking? I'm not really sure. I have zero idea what I was thinking about. Okay. I wrote down what I hope for Predator Badlands. So keeping mystery. Keep it mysterious. Like there some aspects, whether it be the creatures that the predator is going to be hunting or something, but keep the sense of mystery alive. I think that's going to keep it at least some level scary. And once again, tying back to my next video that's going to be coming out this Sunday is actually about mystery. I'm not going to be talking about Predator Badlands or anything about that. It's actually going to be a bit more about some OG TV series. So if you're into like sci-fi series, yo, and I'm talking like OG, like we're talking X-Files. Okay, let horror breathe, silence dread. Okay, yeah, that's pretty evident that, like, I think a lot of scariness, a lot of horror in movies comes as a result of what we don't see, what we don't hear, right? So by keeping it silent, then there's this sense of like tension. So as much as this is now, it looks like the Predator series is evolving into a sci-fi action franchise, if they're able to keep some level of tension, quiet tension, I think that's all that's really needed to keep some sense of horror. And maybe long term, because they are now introducing the Predator as someone that we champion, that we're going to cheer on, maybe the intent or the direction they can go in is that now that we empathize and understand the alien culture and who they are and can cheer on for them, now we can be introduced to horror that they're experiencing. So whereas like in an alien movie or a Predator movie, we're empathizing with Arnold Schwarzenegger, with Sigourney Weaver, with what they're going through, right? Because we know them and we understand what would scare them, right? So maybe the more that we understand about the Predators, now we can vicariously live through them by proxy, and whatever is scaring them, we would be scared by it. And I think that might be part of the intent of Predator Badlands, is that they have been introducing these really, really crazy new aliens and this terrifying planet for us to feel fear through the Predator. And the interesting thing with that is that actually can only be the only aspect of horror, because the only other beings in the Predator Badlands movie is the droids, right? Like, so they don't feel fear. So we actually technically, at least on a psychological level, I guess, like an empathetic level, we're going to connect more with the Predator. Deck, I think Deck is the name of the Predator. We're going to connect more emotionally with Deck than with the droids, because they don't feel fear. So they're not going to really be showing any type of, you know what I mean, emotions whenever they're interacting with these insanely crazy, horrific creatures on this planet. So the only trigger for us to feel fear is when we see Deck feeling afraid, right? Especially, I would even say especially when he's afraid, because he's a predator. So if he shows fear, then we know this is something to be afraid of, right? So as a wrap up, yo, because we're hitting 50 minutes. I didn't want to hit an hour with this because I got work to do. So let me know what you guys think with the Predator Badlands movie. Do you think they are going in a direction of taking away fear? Is it turning from a sci-fi horror series into now sci-fi action? Is the introduction of empathy, like allowing us to empathize with the Predators, is that a detriment to the franchise? Does that, or is that the sacrifice that must be made in order to do greater world building? That we just need to know more about the world that these things inhabit, and innately the more that we know, we unfortunately, it demystifies, takes away some of the scariness. So I think that's all the thoughts that I had for this. So please let me know what you guys are thinking, because I think I'm going to make a video about this. I think I really want to decompress a bit more about Predator Badlands, and also specifically with Alien Earth, like how that's tied. And I'm going to be talking about Alien Earth definitely after this weekend, because there's going to be some amazing conversation I'm going to be having with some family about that. So I'm really, really excited about that. But please let me know. Would be in chat, comments, please let me know what you guys are thinking. And yeah, if you have a chance, check out some of my new videos that have been coming out. They're a little on the longer side. They're a bit more podcasty. So if you just want something to listen to, that's all good. Thank you so much for dropping by, guys. And I look forward to hearing what you guys have to think or say about Alien Earth, Predator Badlands. Let me know. Let's get that convo going. It's been amazing. Take care, guys. And I'm going to try and figure out how the heck do I actually close the stream, because obviously I don't do this very often. It looks like is it this button? Are you sure that you want to stop streaming? I think I just pressed the right button.